Righty. So it looks like the characters are actually already in the game. Shout outs to where the hell is it? Warden Mobile Gaming. Actually, been a fan of him. We actually been like following each other for a while, but shout outs to him because he's gained so much popularity lately over covering several different games. He's been following a bunch of different gotchas, and he's finally gotten his like breakout, and that's so cool. You gotta love it when you see people succeed. He uploaded a video that I immediately couldn't watch. And what I mean by that, he uploaded a video and it said that the three characters are in Higan, at least to look at. And I wanted to stop watching that so I can give you guys my opinion without being spoiled by it. But definitely, I'll leave a link or something like that in the description or something so you guys can go check him out. He's a pretty cool guy. He's been covering so many gacha. I think me and him ran into each other mostly from other games. I think even like Exos and stuff like that, but most specifically Figure Fantasy is when me and him were like basically covering the game at the same time. We cover a lot of the games at the same time, so if I'm covering it, there's a likelihood that he might be covering it too. Me and him also like Archland, but that game, I don't know, it fell off a cliff. Like, it's still updating, but it's still in freaking another... Well, okay, sorry, that's not why you're here. I'm pretty sure he's just as pissed as I am. I really wanted that game to come out because I really liked it. I think it's... I'll even say it right now, I think it's better than this game. But let's leave the big girl for last, and we're gonna go through Tonie, Icicle, and then Sheru. I want to specifically go with Tonie because if you guys missed it, I just dropped the Wind's Breath guide, so I'm very curious, and this is why I'm pissed, is because I thought I could safely launch that video with a assumption that there is no Wind's Breath characters that are going to be coming to the game because they already announced 2 blues. But hey, let's see if the green has it. Luckily, we can, actually, I'm going to move this to my screen so I can see it better. And let's look at her design. She has a big-ass scissor. Reminds me, gives me Gwen vibes from League of Legends. And also, what is it? The Night Raid. Akami got killed. There's another character that had a scissor. 2-tone hair. Dude, I'm thinking, what's with the... Is it? Are you stronger if you have 2-tone eyes? 2 different color eyes? I'm not too sure about this. Luckily... not luckily, I wish they showed the awakenings. They really should, to see if you want to definitely, especially for the low-end characters. This is a R unit, so you can actually get this card. CV coming soon. I actually noticed that too. If you guys, oh yeah, I know I'm rambling on everything, but you know it is what it is. It's a video. That's the point of it. A lot of these new characters, like Allure, doesn't have voice acting. I think. Yeah, coming soon. So they didn't voice act. There's a lot of characters that they actually, the newer characters that they didn't voice act. Almost, I feel like it's almost as if they didn't want them, like they made a mistake or something like that. So let's check out the passive. Enthusiastic Stylist. Tonie will gradually enter a state of excellence. Every 5 basic attacks, she gains 1 stack of enthusiasm, increases attack speed by 19%, back stack at 3. The basic attack is physical damage. So we got a physical damage character. She's a hoplite, or aka I call them a warrior. I would like to see if they mix that up, make some warriors that are AP, make some healers that are physical, stuff like that. The Godly Cut, which is her basic skill, the first one. Touch it with a thing, consumes all stacks of enthusiasm to deal damage. That is some decent skill. Okay, this is at level 10, but that's pretty decent though. Especially because it's, again, this is the R character, so you will be able to get this character up by a lot. Godly Cut has a 45% chance to make mistakes, which reduces its damage by 20%, and a 50% chance to be perfect, which increases its damage by 35%. I now hate this character. Each stack of enthusiasm reduces the chance of a mistake rate by 10%, while increases the perfect rate by 2.5. So we know that we can have 3 stacks, so the most we can reduce it is by 30, so it could be a 15% chance to do that, and I don't care how much it is to be perfect. I hate that move. The Blunt Cut. Oh, so this has the mistake thing too. I'm not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan of it. It looks like it has a cleanse in it. Cleansing at most 5 debuffs on self. That seems a lot better. It's for 4 costs. For 4 costs, I'd rather do that unless it only cleanse at most 4, I guess it has a 10% chance to make mistakes, which reduces its damage by 10% and loses debuff cleansing effect. Okay, 50% to be perfect, increasing damage by 35%. Each debuff cleansed by perfect blunt cut gains Tonie 1 fade, or fad, I think that is. Fad, a buff repository, which drops a random buff drop rate 80% for shitty, low, medium, or high buff. Buffs can benefit, okay, so attack, defense. Oh my god, like, this one getting sec kill, triple damage, or invincibility buff. Why would you even bother with this one? This one's cool, but the other one does basically the same thing and gives you a random buff plus cleansing. Yeah, you just run that one. No reason not to, unless there's a really good. Unless there's a really good awakening for that one. So yeah, next up we have the premium membership, which is the alt. She shows all platinum card customers her incredible hair cutting technique, dealing damage, discerning motion, creating one fad. Fad is the whole thing about the buff thing. So pretty cool. I like that she's a buff-based character. She's very selfish. Oh no, grant one. She's very grant one fat to all allies. So there we go. So that is her unselfish thing, giving everyone a random buff, which is pretty cool. That's cool with Momel. But luckily for me, she has absolutely nothing to do with Wind's Breath, so I feel better about myself. So she's just an overall good green character. She's a good green tank. Not a tank, a warrior. So next up is going to be Icicle, which if you don't have encroaching cold stuff, I'm very weirded out by that. Looks like she has a gun similar to Queen. Queen has like guns and then she dashes in and then does damage because it would be busted to have a quote-unquote assassin that's ranged. But let's see what she does. You know, you can't see the ranges here or anything like that. And I'm actually surprised they don't have attack speed here because people definitely have different attack speeds. So her passive is Encroaching Cold. There it is. Icicle deals certain amount of damage, more damage to enemies with 3, 6, and then 9 stacks of Encroaching Cold. When her basic attack deals damage, she will launch an additional freezing round, applying 1 stack of Encroaching Cold and freeze the target for 1.5 seconds. That's strong. That she's doing that with auto attacks, especially if her other stuff is attack speed or count as autos. That's really strong. Upon entering battle, this effect can be triggered once per 10 seconds. That's still really strong. Now, big bosses are going to be affected by that, so you're going to be looking for... Oh, actually, no, you still got this improving your damage, too. Zest for Death, she's a physical damage person. No shit. Frozen Raid, this raised the enemy by dashing to their back and shooting them 8 bullets in a row. Now, the physical damage, there's a chance, 30, 15, 5% chance to launch 1, 2, or 3 freezing rounds, which Encroaching Cold. The target hit will also be frozen. Yo, that's... Golly. I can't wait to do my Encroaching Cold video because it's looking crazy. Now, if you don't, obviously, Encroaching Cold, they just reduce their attack speed. Now, why is that important? Because it's more important in PvP, if I'm being honest, because lowering someone's attack speed lowers the damages that they're doing, which makes it harder for them to get their cards or at least their energy up, unless they have other ways to gain energy. So it's just like for their ultimate, I'm saying. So really good debuff. As far as in actual like PvE, I actually don't know how effective it is, if I'm being honest. It's kind of hard to gauge. And then this one, she has a bomb. Death Bomb deals physical damage. Very low scaling for like what house scale? Like this 560. This one's 230. Wow, it's very low scaling, but it's an AOE and inflicts 1 stack of Encroaching Cold. The frozen enemy will take 50% more damage. So okay, you're looking to use it on characters that are frozen. And the problem with skills like this, I'll be honest, is that most of the time you're playing an AI. I don't know if they'll be timing it that well, unless you have multiple ways to freeze to where the increased damage will be always effective. That's what they're hoping. They want you to do that. I feel like you just run this because it seems like it's easier for AI to use and yourself. Then we have the Alt 10 Mania. Booming Storm. Raise a Booming Storm on the field, dealing physical damage to all enemies within an area, applying 1 to 3 stacks of Encroaching Cold on a random target. That's not good for an assassin. And yeah, not a fan of that because assassin, you want to do it on a specific person. Yeah, unless it's like she bounces between random targets. So far, so weird. I like everything else. I just like this skill, and I like her passive, really strong. So Encroaching Cold. So let's see if she's the Encroaching Mama. We got Sheru. Now, I know that Issa has something. I think Maria has it. Ume, I don't think so. Black does. He's a range, so maybe that's our team. And then Healer, Celia. I would be weird if she has Encroaching Cold healing because it's a debuff that you put on the enemy. Because cleansing it would need to have a strong effect in order to do it. So here she is, her and her umbrella. She uses as a shield, which is pretty cool. Let's see. So her passive actually is after casting a skill, Sheru enters Frost Sugarcoat state. And that's it. So the Sugarcoat state, a unit in the Frost Sugarcoat cannot move or declare basic attacks within 6 seconds. Instead, gain 20% bonus healing receive. Upon being hit, deals physical damage to 10% of the damage taken and has a 48% chance to give them encroaching cold. So that's kind of interesting. So she basically goes into a counter state. She does a skill, goes into that state. 10% of the damage is bounced back as physical damage. Right? So still all physical. So you want to add in characters that either lower their defense, so she's doing more damage. So she doesn't have to do damage though, which is I do like that. Like there is just going to do damage based on how much damage she is taking. So that could be good. Maybe there's a lot of like insta kill stuff that might happen to that, because especially if a tank for some reason, there's some cool stuff you could do that with PvP also. Like you put her in the back or something like that, so the assassin goes to that and like destroys themselves on the tank. It could be interesting. She's also a physical damage character in general, so yeah, there is that. And then the first skill, 3 costs. Okay, throws the umbrella. If she aims at an ally, then she grants herself and the target ally a shield. If she aims at herself, she grants it to herself and a random ally a shield. So okay, so it's no matter what happens, someone's getting shields. Shield strength is 20% of her max HP. Grants the shielded units 30% more armor while it holds. That's really good. Sacks some HP on her. Animal Snow enters Frost Prism state. Okay, she's a martial artist. She holds her umbrella and gains 20% damage mitigation within 3 seconds. Also, incoming projectiles from the enemies will be deflected to deal physical damage equal to 5%. Okay, you just definitely go with that. This is cute, but yeah, I think you just go with the Animal Snow all day. And then you have the Sacred Realm. She unfolds the Sacred Realm, granting all allies 30% bonus max HP. Meanwhile, generating an area that neutralizes all incoming projectiles from the enemy in a circle. That is Omega busted right there. So all incoming projectiles, especially if you're dealing with a team, especially when you're, and this is something that I like because there's a ton of time where you're fighting against like a certain team and they're a bunch of rangers and they're sitting in the back, and I'm speaking specifically of PvE, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. And for, what is it, 12 seconds? 12 seconds to be immune to projectiles is kind of nuts. On certain stages, that's actually extremely strong. And it looks like they grant all allies a buff. So it says that a realm, but it doesn't say like an area, like a 4-meter range area. So they're just immune to it. And gaining extra max HP is essentially a heal in a sense. So yeah, I think you just run Sacred Realm, Animal Snow, and then you're pretty much done. That's insane. But hopefully we'll be able to summon for her. Then I could see the Awakenings, and then I could do a more full impression on this character and the other ones. That will all be tomorrow, though. So what do you guys think about the characters? I don't know why I just fully backed out there. I feel like a lot of people don't run blue teams. I feel like blue is the red-headed stepchild, even though I feel like most people are running red. They're running a little bit of dark because of these two characters. On my other account, my soft launch account, I've been kind of leveling up each element equally because I'd rather just have the elemental advantage when I go into certain dungeons. But obviously it's a little bit better. At least you can progress quicker by just leveling up one team the entire time. That's kind of how you really should do it. It doesn't matter what color it is. It just has to be one strong-ass team, and then you slowly branch out like 1 or 2 characters that complement that team, and then slowly you'll be making another team at the same time. It's just how it works. So I think she's a really good character. I just think that it's going to be really awkward for people that already have accounts built, and that's the problem with when you release characters, especially in a game where PvP doesn't seem to be the heaviest focus, right? That's where Epic 7 gets a lot of its hype from. When a character releases, it's usually for PvP. It's not usually for PvE, and that's where a lot of the veteran players that have been investing time into the game, that's where they get their rocks off. They're like, oh god, Sheru counters the Surslip meta, and maybe she does. I mean, technically, a lot of that's encroaching cold does counter someone like Surslip, but is that what she's meant to do? Do people care about PvP enough that they would summon on a character that counters another character? I don't know. I don't think PvP is important, and I think that this is. I remember when Clint used to do podcasts, and this was something that he was kind of saying that every game needs PvP, but maybe it's something that needs to be discussed. Of like, does it need to be a focal point of the game? Because when you can beat all the PvE content, which I think I'm mentioning Clint again. I think he just did a video that he actually has all his things done on his main account. What is it? No, missions I should go into. So he actually has the main story completely cleared out, and he has Grow completely cleared out. So for a person like him, PvP is the only natural reason that he even has to log on and play the game. So when you're at that point, which eventually people will get unless they add more content into the game, PvP is going to be there, and you're going to need these niche characters and team comps to kind of fill out your roster to extend the length of play. So I do think that that's very important, and I do think that they have to keep that in mind and really push that type of content, because if I make one team, maybe one or two extra characters, I am done with the game. And I'll just log in to do my dailies maybe, but you know, what's the reason to min-max some, you know, other things? There isn't any. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Sometimes I ramble, but yes, I do think that PvP is very important. I think that Sheru actually does counter some of this attack speed based stuff. I think Encroaching Cold is really good for that. Like I said, in PvP it actually stalls out like other characters that are trying to attack you, mitigates their damage by a lot, especially a character like Rita. Like, she already has a slow attack speed, and then you make it even slower. I've been hit with Encroaching Cold with Rita. It's a nightmare. She basically does almost nothing. Her DPS goes down by a lot. And same thing with Mojets. Like, it's crazy. But again, that's it is what it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.